Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Mutual Respect Podcast. I am your host, your MC, C to the M to the I to the C. And once again, I'm here joined by my constituents, my brothers from another mother. Yo, we got Hype Lopez. Hype.
Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? It's been a little while, so I had to refresh, get back on page here, but we got a good episode lined up for y'all. This is one of my favorite topics, so I can't wait.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And yeah, we also got my other brother, Super Mario.
We're
Mario.
back, people. If you know this saying, you'll know what we're talking about. Monica!
Yeah. And for anybody who's fans of that moniker, of that line, we all know that today's topic is a special topic to all of our hearts, to all of our souls, to all of America's, quite frankly. Today's topic is the Fast and the Furious. And as you all know, recently the ninth installment of the long-running Fast and Furious franchise was released in theaters. And this franchise has been a major staple in American culture and without a doubt in all of our personal lives. It's safe to say, without this movie, we probably wouldn't be who we are today over the past 20 years. It's also kind of sad to quite say that too, but it's a fact.
I have a love-hate relationship, right?
I love it.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship. It's something that we probably need rehab for, but then we'll deal with that when the franchise actually ends. But so with the franchise now in its twilight years, we're gonna set the verdict on the ninth film, and we're gonna check to see if the franchise has grown or has it descended into madness. Some might say the former, some might say the latter. We're going to find out today. And then we also going to jump into two other topics later on and ranking the Fast and Furious films as a whole with all 9 films included. And also in a special third topic, we're going to talk about with all the characters that have been in all these movies over the past 20 years. Who is truly the fastest? We're going to settle that debate.
Who's really got the juice out here? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Who's the buster?
You never had your car.
Yeah, who had their car, and whose granny shifting, not double clutching like you should. Yes. Okay, we're gonna settle all that today. This is a special topic. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this. So we're gonna jump into it on the first episode, the Fast 9 review, coming at you right now. This is Mutual Respect. Stand up, baby. Holla. Fast and Furious. Go! Okay, my brothers. So we've all seen Fast and the Furious, correct? The new one, sir. Fast 9.
Yep.
Me and Lopez, me and you went to see it together with your lovely wife and the whole crew. And Mario, I think you saw it before us, right?
I torrented. Wait, no, I didn't.
Allegedly.
Because I don't.
What happened?
Allegedly. I saw the movie, not in theaters. Allegedly. Someone
Mario somehow saw the movie, whether if it was legal or illegal, we do not know. He is fully disclosed right now.
We may never know.
We may never know, but we know that he has had eyes on the film. He knows how it starts and ends. So we just gonna start off straight off the bat, guys. Fast and Furious 9, 20 years in, one of the bigger movies coming out in theaters ever since the COVID-19 really hit us last year. Not a lot of movies came out last year. So in 2021, this is one of the bigger films that's come out this year. That was technically, I believe, supposed to come out last year.
Yes, it was.
And just kept getting pushed back. So I just want to see what everybody's overall first impressions of the film was. So let's start with the guy we don't know if he saw it legally or illegally. Mario, what was your first impression of the film when you saw it?
I mean, leading into the movie, it was crazy. Like, we're in a pandemic state and this movie made mad money in movie theaters. There's I think this is the only movie right now to this day during this pandemic that made the most money. So I was hyped either way. And anyone who's a Fast and Furious fan knows that it's almost 100% now like an Avengers movie where so much unrealistic thing happens. Like, no grown man should be jumping out of a 3-story building onto a vehicle without any scratch or anything. But Vin Diesel, my man, he proves this time and time again. He can do all this stuff. He's superhuman. He can go through walls, not get hurt. I love it. I live for movies like this where it's just like that you can't be looking at it like a serious movie. You got to take it like a comedy and enjoy it at this point. I loved it. It's so bad that it's good. That's what I'm saying. Like it's trash, but it for me because I'm already tied into it for so long. It's good trash for me. Like I can't go into it thinking it's gonna be the best, like it's gonna win the Oscars, but I'm like, here they go. We in space now, baby. We made it. We made it.
Oh
So
man.
I mean, based on what you said, Mario, I looked up a couple of stats, and the movie did debut with $70 million over the weekend. So when it first came out, which is pretty impressive, it was the highest grossing weekend since Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker, which came out in December 2019. You know, you saw a lot of people was really trying to get back into the theaters, and you know, I think Fast Furious 9 was definitely a movie that you could just turn your brain off and watch. Mr. Hype, what was your first opinion of this movie?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, y'all, but this movie was ass. I'm gonna be real. You know, I love the Fast and Furious. I came up with the Fast and Furious it's in my blood. You know what I mean? But I'm all about mind-numbing action scenes, and that's all cool to me and everything. But we got to be real out here, y'all. It's so detached from reality at this point that I found myself just saying every 5 minutes, wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what?
sure
And I feel
did.
like, yeah,
sure did.
the amount of times that I said that in this movie, it's like nothing added up, nothing made sense. They would explain things, and I still was like, y'all gonna have to repeat that because that still don't make any sense. So it's gonna get that Rotten Tomato from me. You know what I mean? I wasn't really feeling it like that. I went and saw it regardless. I'm always gonna be down to go see it, even if it's trash. Unfortunately,
Same.
All right, so clearly, you know, Lopez had a great time at the theater.
I love the movies.
Toretto!
Oh man. But yeah, Lopez, you're not alone, man. I think you could tell while I was in the theater too that, you know, my first impression of this film was, yeah, this movie has decided to jump the shark multiple times, and it just doesn't like this franchise just doesn't give a fuck anymore.
No.
And you know, it's one of those things where I'm so invested into this franchise, I just gotta see it to the end. But if you're talking about my first impressions of this, okay, you guys clearly don't care about what this movie was initially. You're not even trying to reach the glory years anymore. You guys just said, hey, listen, we jumped the shark like a couple movies ago, and we're just going to continue to show you how ridiculous we are. Let's try to dig into this movie and find some positives. And you know, I got to go back to Mario because since he said he loved the movie and it's one of the greatest movies of our American history of filmmaking, Mario, what were
those
the
words? Those words never came out of my mouth. Wait a minute. Let the record show. Wait a minute. Never said those words.
But Mario, what were the positives? Like you gotta have positives of this movie, right? So what were the positives? What if you had to tell the person, hey, listen, you got to go see this movie because this, and this, what would that be?
Before I continue, though, anyone who hasn't seen this movie and does care about spoilers, don't watch this episode because we're going to spoil the shit out of Fast 9. But there's not much to spoil because it's wild.
Tell you the truth, it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't
First
matter.
of all, are you really a fan if you didn't watch it opening weekend anyway? Cool.
That's a fact. You were not.
If you didn't see it by now, you don't give a fuck. Just listen to the rest of the our opinions on this. But if you really don't want to get spoiled, yeah, feel free to catch us another time. But I'll tell you right now, there is no plot.
Missing out on anything.
You're not missing out on any details. We can tell you the whole story, and you still be like, what? But yeah, Mario, back to you, brother. What were your positives, man?
My positive, it was like a family reunion. Like the fact that they brought back the Tokyo crew. Like I can't believe you see Lucas Black and everything like that. You even see Bow Wow, but you didn't see the Hulk. I want to see what happened to his Hulk whip with the fist and everything. They in the middle of nowhere testing out rockets and shit. Now they've gone a weird way from drifting. They go from drifting to rockets. That's what I'm saying. You got to treat this like a comedy. John Cena just ziplining through the city for no reason. He just casually ziplining.
Like it was
Yo,
Assassin's Creed or something. Like you're not even light like that.
yeah.
So why are you doing all that?
He
That's
made that shit
crazy.
look so smooth.
Uh,
Yo, and then Vin Diesel. Every scene, Vin Diesel, starting from the car going from a cliff to a cliff off a rope and just being confident that it would be locking just by just hitting the Nas button. I love this. I love this terrible ass movie. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I'm not even gonna
Oh,
bring up
man.
the space scene, but like, no, that was like that. The fact, yo. I will say this: if people who have seen the movie didn't know, the director actually did research with NASA, trying to make this as realistic as possible. But and you're saying like a regular whip can go to outer space.
Please do not be inspired by this movie.
Yo.
There is nothing believable in this
Oh, man.
movie. Don't think that you could do anything in this movie. I know they give that little disclaimer at the beginning, you know what I mean? It's not enough.
The director is Justin Lin, who directed Fast and Furious,
All of them.
Fast Five,
Fast Five,
Fast
A good amount.
Six,
Fast Six, yep.
Tokyo Drift. He directed a lot of Fast and Furious movies. But, like I said, it just seems like, personally that they don't give a fuck anymore.
Like you gotta enjoy it. It's like a roller coaster ride. Just treat it like a ride, like one of those like movie rides that you do in Universal Studios. That's the way I see it.
That's a good way to do it.
So my brother, Hype, what were your positives of F9?
Listen, this movie wasn't completely terrible. I laughed a lot.
Completely terrible.
I
That's how
laughed
you
a lot,
started?
because nothing was believable, like I said. So just my mouth was agape the whole time, wondering why everything was happening the way it was. And then at one point, I think I just said, you know what? There's no point in trying to figure anything out anymore. I can tell there's no direction with this anymore. So positives. Here's a good thing. Your boy Han is back. That's a positive right there. Did it make any sense? Not at all. But
That
he's
write-up
back.
was terrible.
He's back though, so I was happy to see that. Cinematically, it was beautiful. It was great, cool. Again, the story, the writing, terrible, just terrible. We have foregone any type of realism in this movie at this point, so it felt like almost a big like MCU coming together movie, right? Like we had everybody. We had the people from Tokyo Drift. We had Cypher. We had the whole fam back. You know what I mean? So we had secret appearances at the end of the movie. So it was a lot of faces. It was good in that sense, but terrible. I can't say this enough. It really was a terrible movie. But this is how it is. We're family. This is how it's got to be.
Yeah.
Family. Man, is there any other positives you could dig out of there, Lopez?
Not at all. No.
Man. All right. So I guess it's on me.
I want to know how many positives. Do you have one?
Give me a second.
What about the barbecue? Because they always end the movie with them just Coronas.
Oh yeah, good. All right.
Good
Thank you, Mario. Because like I was really struggling to think of a positive in this movie. The ending and how they dealt with Paul Walker's absence was done tastefully.
Yeah.
I was cool with that because I was like, are they going to show him? Are they going to do the thing with his brother and like show like a CGI face? But just saying, hey, listen, they about to have their barbecue at the end of the movie, and they say, oh, we still got a seat. Where's Brian? He's on his way. We see the car come up, pull up, and then it goes to black. I was like, that's cool. I was like, that was tastefully done. Even though it had its problems, I liked seeing the flashback scenes.
Okay.
Bad,
that's actually a good point. I didn't mention that at all either. So yeah. Thanks for bringing that up.
Even though some of that stuff was a little iffy, the fact that they went to the past made me say, dang, I just wish they would have done a prequel. See, I would have loved to just see a trilogy of how Dom went from here to there. Can you imagine if they brought in the whole brother situation through like a prequel trilogy? Then they do another sequel after that, and you're like, oh, y'all wonder what happened to that brother. I think that would have been a lot more interesting. But, Vin Diesel, he's not going to do a movie without him being in the movie. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I thought were like positives in the movie. It's like a Fast and Furious movie. So I think it's the positive is just like, you get to kind of dig into your childhood a bit and just see these characters. And like Mario and Lopez said, you get to laugh. And the movie's a comedy now. Don't take it seriously.
Do not.
That's
you
a
know, when you
fact.
take it seriously, it's gonna piss you off.
And
You trust a
just as a
person?
disclaimer, I feel like some people are gonna say, I thought all the Fast and Furious movies were comedy. There are some quality Fast and the Furious movies, and we're gonna get to that
100%.
later.
Yeah, we're
There's
gonna get to
some
that later.
good and well written Fast and Furious movies, so that we will definitely talk
It
about
just
that.
recently
Don't
became
try to
comedies.
clown it. Exactly. Don't try to clown it. They took a few steps backwards.
A few jumps,
Yeah.
nigga.
Few jumps, yeah.
Hurdles, yeah.
But there are some classics in there for sure.
what were the Fast and Furious 9 or Fast 9 as they call it negatives? Now I'm going to just swing this right back to hype.
Oh,
I know hype got some negatives for
I
your
got
ass.
some. I got some.
All right,
things
just
say.
to make sure, like, listen, we gonna have to put each other because we can do this shit forever in regards to
I'm gonna
negatives.
keep it
That's
just
a
a
fact.
few
Yeah.
topics here.
So
I'm not
try to keep it somewhat brief. If you got one specific thing, feel free to go off, but we can't go off for 10 minutes on negatives, even though we probably could do a whole fucking episode on
We
negatives.
really could.
So hype, what were your negatives on Fast 9?
Yeah. Han's story about how he survived was the most trash put together explanation of anything that I've ever seen. It could have been so much simpler, and what they provided was a terrible explanation. They basically said that Han can now do the instant transmission and was able to teleport out of a flaming car. After he collided without any scratches or injuries or anything. He was totally fine. He was good. And Mr. Nobody he could do anything. Trash. Complete trash explanation. Because we saw how hard Han got knocked out during Tokyo Drift. His car was flipped over. He was covered in gasoline and flames. And we were just supposed to believe none of that really happened, y'all.
He was bleeding too, I think.
Yeah,
right?
he
There
was
like a
bleeding.
gash.
He was in the car.
He was inside the car.
Sean saw him unless they had a fucking
by seatbelt to the
yeah, like
seat.
it was everything there. Like it's no way because the car chase happened right after, and like Sean saw him leave in Tokyo Drift. There was no way he jumped out that car in enough time.
In the middle of an empty intersection. It was nothing else around him except for gasoline and flames. But Han made it out. So hey, I'm happy Han's back. I love Han. He's a great character. But wow,
Han is Chris
really
Angel now.
botched this. So yeah, he that's definitely a good way to put it. That or Nick Fury, one of the others. So number 2, what happened to Mr. Nobody? Isn't that how the movie started?
I thought that was the mission. I totally forgot that he was the mission.
See, you forgot, right? Because they never mentioned him again in the movie after that part. Once we found the little aircraft with the little black box and the Ares inside, we ain't never hear about Mr. Nobody again. Then nobody wonder what happened to him, if he got captured. Should we be tracking him down? They went out there to find Mr. Nobody and then forgot that he was even there.
Because they found something that was more important. They found family.
Family.
So Super Mario, what were your negatives?
I'll start it off with Tyrese has come a long way from Too Fast, Too Furious. He went from a racer, now he's a marksman. He legitimately killed 15 heads with one machine gun. A car landed on him, and he somehow lives. That's how you know this movie's a comedy. The fact that you see Tyrese die in front of you 3 times in the movie, and they rewrite it. No, he's actually alive.
The best part is like Ludacris even saying, "You're supposed to be dead. How are you alive right now?" Like,
2, I like the flashbacks, the storyline between the brothers of like John Cena and then like Vin Diesel. With 80% of the movie, they hating each other. Then like this was actually Dad's doing, not yours. All right, now I love you. After all these years of hate, like
why you just tell?
You flipped the script.
Why did you kill all these people and try to take over the world? And then you decided to tell them, and now it's all good.
Yeah, man.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for your opinion, Mario. Some good stuff. My negatives. Because I don't want to copy all your negatives because your negatives were very on point. Okay, space. That's one.
Yeah, that's a good place.
I left that out. I left that out.
I was done. Like I was literally close to walking out the fucking theater. I was like, is it worth just sitting here? You know, and then I realized, nah, it's fucked up because Lopez paid for my ticket. So I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not just gonna walk out. Like if they're gonna stick through it, I'm gonna stick through it. Just the logistics of you going to space with a bum ass car and how
They
motherfucking
survived.
Sean and Bow Wow's character and the Asian brother, how all of them now were like motherfucking rocket scientists. Like I don't know how did that become their
When
occupation
did that
out of
happen?
Tokyo Drift,
Exactly.
you know, and I'm just like, it's like, all right, you guys just don't give a fuck. You'll just jump in the shark. You just want to find out different ways to go crazy. And I just feel like somebody was snorting some coke in the executive room. It was just like, how about we just take these motherfuckers to space, nigga? And you know, they just said, you know what? It's the greatest idea I ever heard.
Oh
Give it to the
man.
director, tell him to put him in space. And they did it. And like it was the stupidest thing ever. It was just like the suits that they made, doesn't matter how well you thought you made them shit. There was just without it, survived
I
in
feel
They
like
space.
floated in space. They
they
floated
made
into
the car
space.
in like 30 minutes. It wasn't even like
It wasn't even tested. Like
yeah,
it,
it
wa-
says
it,
nothing. You
it, it,
just
it's
patch
just
together a
like,
couple metal plates. Like, come on,
yeah,
man.
it was to the point where it was just like I couldn't take it seriously no more. And this is gonna lead into my next one. And my next one is fucking Vin Diesel. And
Hmm.
it hurts because I love Vin Diesel. We wouldn't have this franchise without Vin Diesel. You turned yourself into a fucking superhero without any explanation how you're a fucking superhero. I don't care how strong you are. You can't break chains, nigga. Like this nigga he tore down a building by himself. And I was watching that. I was like, it's been happening really since like Fast Six, to tell you the truth. It just getting to the point where I'm just like, power of family is making you like, like crush concrete and shit. Like, come
Like,
on,
you're
man.
not Captain Planet, bro. Like, you
Yo,
need to stop,
he's
man.
beyond Captain Planet now. This motherfucker's one step from Thanos and Darkseid. Like
Yep.
he like on the real, son. Like nothing he does has any consequences on him physically. I don't think I saw him with a scratch this whole movie.
Nah.
No
You and
human
you,
could
you
survive
can
that well drop.
tell they literally turned him into the Hulk this movie. I'm not sure if you peeped this, but there's a couple times where he's jumping off of stuff and he's got the arms up with the Hulk smash arms out. And I'm
Yeah,
like, bro, you're not that brolic like that. Like
yeah,
I
It
know
was
you're
him versus eight
Vietnam.
people, and he survived that. Like,
yeah. Like it's
I
crazy. Like the
can't, man.
Tyrese thing was a joke. Rome's character was basically like, okay, I can't die, right? I'm just gonna shoot random people, and like it was almost funny. Like I don't know if you ever seen this movie Harlem Nights when Eddie Murphy shot
ooh,
like 3 bullets and
Mm,
didn't look, and then he killed everybody, and it was like a joke. I was like, okay. I can't take your character seriously. But then like Vin Diesel's supposed to be like the emotional tether in this movie, and he's just doing wild stuff. And I'm like, yo, can we get a scratch? Can we get a blood mark? Can
right.
you at least say ow? Like this dude is like running through people, dodging bullets. I'm like, dude, man, you too stiff. You can't dodge bullets like that, B. Your character is so unrealistic. I can't feel emotionally attached to it. It makes the movies dull. Let's wrap this review up and answer the question: where does the franchise now go from here? Now, reportedly, there's a two-parter coming up to finish up the franchise. So basically, it's Fast 10 Part 1 and Fast 10 Part 2. I wonder how that's going to be. But, how do you think these guys should wrap it up? And where do you think they should go from here with this franchise that we've been connected to for 20 years? We'll start with Super Mario. Mario.
it's crazy because this first started off as a street racing culture. So like from there to like an action superstar movie, and the main bad guy is still gonna be freaking Charlize Theron, Cypher with the crazy bull haircut. Honestly, just for part 10, these next two parts treat it like Fast 9 at this point. We're just putting money in Vin Diesel and everyone in that cast money in their pocket. Fuck it. Let's keep it going.
All right, all right. Hype Lopez, how would you want this franchise to wrap up with the 10th movie, and where do you see it going from here?
Yeah, personally, I believe we need to go back to the beginning. Let's go back to the good times. And when I
Yeah.
say that, I'm talking about Fast and the Furious One. And why do I say that? Because it had one of the better side characters, our boy Johnny Tran. What?
Johnny Tran.
Yeah, man. And you know why I say that? Because they could easily go back and we could see what happened with Johnny Tran and Dom back in the day? Because we don't really know. We know that at some point, Dom and Johnny Tran were connected. They were part of a gang together. They were rolling together. Dom was doing work for Johnny Tran, but we don't know the extent of what that was. And it would have been dope if we could see a prequel now. I want to see a prequel to the Fast and the Furious where we see the gang come together. Maybe the original crew. Maybe we see young Letty. We see young Dom. We see their little side characters. We see Jesse come through. You know what I mean? But we see them in accordance with Johnny Tran and his crew and their dominion and how they were rolling and running the streets. So I would love to see that personally. After this last one, I'll be honest, I don't even know what we're doing anymore. You know, I don't know. I don't know if there's any point to this anymore. These ships have sailed, and I think this is one of those situations where to go forward, we got to take some steps back. And let's get back to the roots here, because I was feeling the whole Avengers thing, you know, in the last couple movies, but now everybody thinks they're Thanos, and I can't. It's not like that. It's not that serious. I would kind of get mad because in every movie we find a bad guy who's more bad guy than the last bad guy, and this driver who's more badass than the last driver. And I'm like, where were they in the last couple movies? Y'all didn't ever mention them. Mr. Nobody knew Dom's brother the whole time, and we didn't even know about that. You pulled a brother out of where? Not one mention or clue to this brother in all of the previous Fast and the Furious movies. And now all of a sudden, he's almost as good, if not a better driver than Dom is. As a faithful Fast and the Furious fan, I'm disappointed in the direction we're going. If y'all could just maybe bring it back a little bit, just a little bit, so I can actually enjoy these movies again, that would be great.
I mean, I actually kind of agree. I think, like I said, the one thing, if Fast Nine did anything for me, it was make me interested in a prequel. Y'all said I missed a couple people in the prequel scene, and I was like, "Yo, wait! Oh, I didn't know Vincent was in that scene. All I remember seeing was Letty and Mia, and Dom and Jacob. That was it. I didn't see everybody else. So I was like, I want to go back and just check that out. But I would love that too. Like that's the only thing I can say is like I don't care what the 10th movie is. I'm expecting it to be trash. If it's not trash, I'll be surprised. But the 10th movie, I don't care about. I'm gonna see it just to wrap it up. But I hope that they do some prequels. I think they have a good chance of doing prequels, and I hope the prequels aren't in theater. I hope they do a Netflix series with it. I
That would
think
be
that
dope, honestly.
That would be dope.
I think that a Netflix series is where the money's at, or HBO Max series, or wherever they could do it in which platform. Can you imagine Fast and Furious, or like Furious? Don't even call it Fast and Furious. It's called Furious. Year one. It
Ooh, I like
shows,
that.
how Jacob was smashing Letty before Dom came out.
Yes.
And
I'm down with that conspiracy theory.
yeah,
Man.
I still think
all
that's
about
the only thing I was thinking
they
about.
definitely smashed.
I'm
They
pretty sure
definitely-
Jacob was beating that pussy up, nigga, before he came out of jail. And I'm pretty sure the only reason why Dom is with Letty is because Jacob left. I mean, that would have been an interesting
That would have been a
dynamic.
way better dynamic.
That would have been a way better story.
And I don't want to find out until the end. You want to talk about a 10? There's a 10 right there. You tell me at the end, and Letty drops that secret to Dom, like, I never told you, but I was smashing Jacob. Oh,
shit. And then it just goes to black.
God.
Part 2 coming soon.
Fade to black.
Was Jacob in the final? Was he sitting with them? At
Nah,
the end?
No. He
Jacob
gets sent
drove
off
off
at the end. Yeah.
But like the only reason why, like
Well,
I
that
remember
makes sense.
me and Lopez was in the theater. I just remember we leaned over to each other at the same time. It was like, yo, he definitely beat that up. Like, cause think about it, Dom was in jail for like, what did he say, 2 or 3 years in lockbox?
Yeah, lockbox.
When he got out, Jacob was already that dude on the streets. And he was already rolling with Letty and Mia, and then was already around him. Vincent was like chilling with Jacob and shit.
Take everything. Take his queen too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Can you imagine like if we get like a Netflix story of Dom while he's in prison and Jacob while he was running the streets, and then you could do all that, and then you end the Furious Netflix series with Brian coming in, and then guess what? You want to have another Netflix series? Instead of calling it Furious, call it Fast, and now you have Brian and Rome's story when they was chilling together.
Yeah, see, I like it.
And now,
Hey, keep it like animated or something because
do an anime. Anime could cost you some money, man.
Netflix is big on animated shows now, though.
if Netflix does a good animated show, I'll watch it. You could do a double feature. You could do Furious series with Dom's story before Brian came in, and the Fast series with Dom and
With
Rome,
Brian and Rome,
Brian and
yeah.
Rome with before. Yeah, with Brian and Rome before Rome got arrested, because I
Yep.
remember Too Fast, Too Furious. He was like, "Yo, I didn't know that you was a cop," and he said, "No, I just became a cop. I didn't know that they was going to do a raid on your house." That would have been an interesting story, because people forget Brian was doing wild shit too. He went to juvie. So I'm throwing out ideas like crazy right now before we go into our next topic. And then, we could do another series, call it Drift, and do it straight on Han. You want to bring Han back so much? Call it Drift straight about Han. And then make it Han and Gal Gadot, and they're in their little travels together between 5 and 6. And because before she died, they was chilling together and they was running around together. You could do a little series like that. Be creative. I mean, and then you can still keep it grounded now. Maybe you could ground this shit. I
Man.
mean, but that's just our little opinion. Guys, what's the last words you want to say about Fast 9? We go with hype real quick. What's the last words you want to say about Fast 9?
Go in there with no expectations, and don't go in expecting a great movie, because it's not. But if you want to watch a good comedy, boom, Fast 9 is the one to see.
Super Mario, what's the last words on F9?
It's a great comedy. Go check out a funny comedy. If you want a good laugh, this is that movie, man.
And I would concur with both of my brothers. F9 is the comedy of the year, the number one comedy on all platforms and throughout all the theaters. If you want to see a wacky, cartoonish, ridiculous, stupid, but yet unfortunately entertaining movie.
Yeah.
It's so bad that it is. That's
so bad
crazy
that it is actually probably the best movie of all time. It's so bad that it might be the greatest movie of all time.
Oh man.
Then go see Fast 9. And truthfully, I'm pretty sure to all of our listeners and anybody who's grown up with these movies, it's part of us now. You can't run from it, can't escape it. All you can do is embrace it. It's family. Fast Furious, it's our family. That's our Fast 9 review. Coming up next in our episode, we're tackling the ranking of all the Fast and Furious films.
What I've been waiting for.
Let's go.
Coming up soon, MRP.
Oh,